Howdy everybody, welcome to the show today. Well, I got lots of stuff to work on, but I need to get a couple other things done first, like that truck and my TO35. But I think I need to get that blue truck done first. So as you can see, in case I get bored, I do have everything set up in here ready to go, but like I said, I want to, oh, and I found a grill, look at that. But I want to get this, Jesus, come on now. Let's just put this over here where it's safe for the minute. You just stay right there. But guys, here's what I want to do today. I kind of want to get this hood scruffed up, painted, and then set back on the truck to get it out of the way. It does take up a lot of real estate in here. I'd like to get that split when I'm not busy doing this, and I still need to set these doors up on some sawhorses, get the bottoms cut out and some new metal welded in there so I can have this truck all together. But again, like I say, let's do this one thing at a time here, mister. I think, guys, what's going to be in my best interest, maybe not, but I think it's going to be in my best interest. I want to get, yeah, close enough. I kind of want to get this suspended off the ground a little bit, just so I'm not spraying my concrete all blue. And whatever dust and whatnot is on the floor, I won't be spraying it up into my paint. Kind of kills two birds with one stone. Now, how I'm going to do this, there. Now, if I can just pick the back of this up without everything falling down and slide this sawhorse under here, I'll be batting 100 today. Fantastic. You'd have thought that I planned that out that way. Ah. All right, well, so next thing on the list. I got to rough some of this up, tape off a few things, and let the blue paint fly. Now, guys, I'm not going to get real excited about putting primer on this just because it's plastic and it really doesn't need any. There's no surface rust to cover up. There's no imperfections to really work out of it, so yeah, might as well just, I got to scrape these letters off of here from the school that this school bus lid came from. Let's get all that off of there, get some tape on this, get it scruffed and set it on the truck. Let's do that. I'm not using anything special on these letters here, just a good old razor blade, and see if I can scrape some of that off of there. Now, friends, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for my air compressor to fill up, I can go ahead and just start getting some tape on a few of these pieces here. Like I said, it ain't going to be a showroom truck, but it's still going to be good enough to make me proud every time I go to the elevator and I see a bunch of these local farmers going, "Ooh, look at that." All right, I lied. I'm not going to tape everything off. It's easier just to pull this than try to wrap tape around it, so it comes off. Well, guys, now that that's all done, all I got left to do is scratch this up with some 400. And I'll be ready to sling some paint at this. I better get on my, oh, where is it here? Let's see. Better do a little something to take care of my lungs. Might need them later. Uh-oh, everybody look busy. The boss is here. Why don't you give that an inspection? Tell me what you think. Get a little yellow on you so you can go in the house and rub up next to Mama with that. Yeah, goofy cat. Does it meet your approval? Yeah? Okay, good. Woo! Well, there, guys. That's what I call sanded. Now, being that that's done for now, I'm going to ditch this. So what I've been kind of doing on and off here, guys, in between waiting for the compressor to, and I got to say, my compressor does a pretty good job of keeping up with the DA, but sometimes it does need a little break. Those are the times where I take this Scotch-Brite pad. Now, you'll notice, again, you watched the last video, I was maybe complaining that there's not a whole lot of flat, straight pieces of anything on this truck. Everything's got a curve, which is great. It adds a lot of style to stuff. The downside is the DAs aren't curvy. They're just kind of meant for flat stuff. That's where this Scotch-Brite pad comes in. I like to go in here, and this is just a little insurance policy that kind of helps me sleep at night. Hit all these little curve spots. You can kind of feel it with your fingers, but it's one of these things I can't explain to you because you got to be careful. You don't want to leave finger marks and everything, but at the same time, you still got to use your fingers to feel around all these nooks and crannies and whatever else. So, well, like I say, I've been kind of going over this one the whole time. This area in here is the most critical just because, A, it's not really going to be seen much. You might see it through the grill a little bit, but there's a whole lot going on in here, and you don't want yellow underneath it. So, like I say, just making sure I got everything as good as I can possibly get it, maybe even better. Time to get some paint on this thing before supper. And then I can start on them doors. Now it's time for that final clean, and you guys know the drill. Just wax on, wax off. This lifts all the remaining dust off, so you can wipe it down. Again, guys, just a fighting chance that your paint might stick. And if you're saying to yourself, well, you just blew it off, how much can there possibly be? Just that, I mean, just, there's a lot. So if anybody just says, I just blow it off and paint it, no, that's not the way to do things. It's not how we do it. Friends, I could have gone one more step here if I was being real picky. If I was being real picky, I'd have put rubber gloves on too, because I don't want my oils in my hands to get into that paint. 6 to 1/2 dozen the other. I've done it both ways. I've never really seen handprints in anything if I use the gloves or if I don't. Now, if I were to go to touch it right now and leave my hand on it, yes, I would see a mark, definitely. But it is going to be just fine. I got tack rags, but I'm not going to tack rag it right now. I'm going to wait till after I put the base coat on. Then I'll tack it before I put the clear on, because that's where you see the dust is in your clear. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get painting. Now, guys, I know some of you are going to ask me, since that's plastic, is there any extra prep work that's necessary for plastic stuff? Well, in a normal world, I'd answer you 100% yes. You have to do a lot more. Flex additive in the clear, adhesion promoter, but I'm not going to do this on here, and I'll tell you why. So do I have a paint stick? Oh, there we go. So, generally speaking, if you were to say order a new bumper cover or something, and you need to put that on your vehicle. Absolutely, you're going to want to use the adhesion promoter on that plastic before you spray that bumper, because the paint probably will come right off. And you will also want to add the flex additive in the clear, because if you don't, well, the clear gets hard, it starts to crack when things bend, and that's what happens. Now with this one here, this is fairly rigid plastic, so I'm not worried about it bending too much, and the clear's got a little flex to it, so it ain't like it's going to be, boom, boom, nothing serious. So I'm not too worried about the clear cracking on this. Now I'm also not worried about the paint sticking, because as you can see, it's already been painted. So all I have to do is rough that paint up to get my paint to stick to that paint. That paint already sticking to the plastic, so no need for any extra parts. All right. Now we're really going to test my abilities here, because the humidity is about 1,000% today. Let's see how this works out. No promises. Okay. Not bad. Not bad, guys. I'm going to take that. I'm going to let this paint flash off a little bit. Now you can see it's already starting to flash off. That's where it's starting to look like crap. That's normal. It's okay. But I got good coverage. All the yellow's gone. One more coat of this blue will ensure that all that yellow is gone. We'll get the clear on, get the grill on. This is going to be a good looking old truck hood. Friends, I apologize. I can't get a very good camera angle to actually show spray and clear on top of that, because the door's open, because it's nice out, and if I shut the door, it'll get damn hot in here in a damn hurry. So I guess, guys, nobody's perfect. Time to get some clear on here. And don't worry. There you are. And don't worry. I know I'll take you all around when it's done. Okay. Where do I begin? That's going to be one sharp looking truck. Let's get a second coat of clear and call it good. Yes. Perfect. Now we wait. Boy, friends, that is going to be one sharp looking truck. Tell you what, them guys at the elevator are going to be jealous. They're going to want old JT's old beater truck because it's better looking than theirs. You know, just for grins, I grab a bolt and stick that grill on there. Just for, you know, just for aesthetics. Let's see. Let's get a better view. Guys, that looks like everything's supposed to be there. I can't wait to see this on the truck. Too bad I got to give this paint a day to dry before I can go stick it on there. And then I got to do the doors. But at least when it's on the truck, I'll be able to see what everything's going to look like. Boy, that's going to be awesome. Well, nothing left to do today except have a Coors and watch the paint dry. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Well, there, guys. Time for some doors. Now, guys, we're ready to start on these doors. Now, many of you have expressed a little concern about what I'm going to do about this rust here, or what I'm going to do about these doors altogether. Well, I'm going to answer your questions. Here's what I am and I'm not going to do. This down here, I'm not going to worry about it. This here, I'm going to zing about 1.5 inches to 2 inches out of this door, weld in a new chunk of metal of my choosing, which I have some old shelves. Just going to cut that shelf right off. Bingo. Same thing on this side. Just take the old grinder, zing it, weld a new piece in. That'll keep this from coming back through. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the door jambs. I mean, I'll probably just take my blue paint and dust it in there so it doesn't look completely white when I open the door, even though it's still going to be white, you know, on the bottom side, on the inside of the truck. But again, no one's going to see that. Get the angle grinder out, cut up these doors a little bit, get a new piece of metal to stick in each one of them, primer and paint, and back on the truck. I make that sound real easy. Not that it's exactly hard, it's just that it's kind of time consuming, and I had to go grab a different shirt. She is hot out here, guys. And I think it must be just my luck, because the last time I painted a truck, which was Gus, same as I got now, a dump truck, it was hot. It was July. It was exactly 2 years ago. I'm thankful now, at least I've got this shade of this barn to keep the direct sunlight off this stuff, so it actually does, you know, I'm not painting onto 250 degree metal. Enough of that. Let's get going here. All right, so this tape, guys, is basically just going to be a guide for me. Doesn't really mean anything. I'm just trying to, when you're cutting along with a die grinder, I don't want to end up, that's extreme. But I don't want to end up someplace that I don't want to end up. Let's just say that. So I'm just going to put this tape down. Try to keep the cutting side on one end of the tape. And find my way to the other side. Come on, leave me alone. There you go, guys. And now, as you can see, now I have 2 rust-free doors. Let me go get something to weld back into these things. And as you can see, guys, that is going to be a perfect fit. All I got to do is zinger along and zinger on the other side. So I got a door skin for each side. Look how handy that is. Who knew? I did. Well, let me get cutting these off, guys, and we'll get that done. Tell you what, these old doors are going to come together so quick. I wonder how much room I got up in there to... That's sharp. Well, I'm not going to push my luck. I'll cut them where? I know where here, but where here? I need a space. I'm going to make some room. I don't have room. JT problems. I guess that'll work. That'll be okay. Good enough for me. All right. Now notice, guys, I'm not measuring anything. Just kind of, shoot from the hip. Okay. Bingo. And there you go, guys. Just like that, instant free door skin. Let me go ahead and zap the one out for this guy. Get these tacked in, get a little filler on them, and we'll get on to the important stuff here. Well, friends, got my door skins all welded in and ground kind of flat. Now, if you're doing this on your own, remember, just grind a little bit and then grind a little bit more. And then because if you do too much grinding, it'll get hot and it'll never be right and you're gonna hate it. These are probably gonna be as close to right as they're ever gonna get, but hey, whatever. I made door skins out of shelves. I'm gonna leave that right there. Let me sand these up and get a little filler on. There, guys, I'll sand it up a little bit. You want to be sure to sand that substrate a little bit before you put any filler on, because it'll stick that much better. Now, if you've done this before, you'll notice if you don't have it sanded good, it won't feather. It'll just kind of peel away, and that's bad. Now, like I said, it's hot out here today. Even my body filler is boiling, it's so hot. So what I've got to do, I've got to get some of this mixed up and spread on that fast, because it is going to be basically dry probably before I'm done, and that's not good either, because then it gets clumpy, it makes it even harder to sand. So the challenges of weather make this challenging, but I'm going to give it my best shot here, guys. You might be saying to yourself, hey, JT, that kind of looks like crap. Don't worry. All I'm doing is getting this mostly smooth. I'm going to take my board sander, hit it. That's going to smooth most of that right out. I can put a second, oh, there you are. I can put a second coat on this, and that's going to basically, it ain't going to need much more than that. Second coat's going to do it. I'm going to mix up another hot batch to do on this door, and away we go with sanding. That's kind of the way it works when you're doing bodywork, guys. You know, fill and sand, and fill and sand, and prime and sand, and prime again. It could be never ending. Let's get with it. Well, guys, I'd love to get this stuff done today. Now, you can see I'm in here and the door's closed. It's raining outside because why wouldn't it be? It's been raining every damn day, except yesterday. But nevertheless, I got to get this project done. So last night, I went ahead and got all this stuff taped up. After you got done watching me make my super duper homemade door skins, all I got left to do at this point in time is give these a wipe down and get some primer on them. I don't know that I'm going to be able to paint them today, like I said, just because of the rain, but I guess it ain't raining inside, so we'll see. Let me mix up a hot batch of primer. We'll get these covered up with primer and just kind of see where the day brings us. There's not much more I can do besides that. Oh well, let's hit it. That's probably enough primer to do like 7 doors, but whatever. I'd rather dump out a little bit extra than have to mix it twice, I guess. Okay, well, here we go. Well, what do you think, guys? Not bad for a couple old junk doors, huh? My door skins look pretty darn flat. Everything else looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and let that primer dry for an incredible amount of time because it's going to take that today. Probably hit it with a second coat, and then I'll just go ahead and get that blue paint sprayed on there, and finally I can be done with this paint job. But again, guys, with this being our weather today, oh, got to see too much of the truck. But again, guys, with this being the weather today, that I'm fighting a losing battle trying to get stuff to dry. But whatever, it is what it is. I'll get it figured out, and we'll move on and be done with it. It's several hours later. These doors did dry, so I can, as you can see, get these sanded down nice. That should be, well, more than any grain truck deserves, but they're going to look good with my name plastered all over them. Now we'll just give these a little. Get the final finishing touches on this truck, and can't wait to see it done. But at the same time, I've been working on this truck for about 2.5 to 3 weeks now, and I'd like to work on really anything else at this point. You know how it goes. You get burned out on one thing. There. All right, guys, let's finish this thing. In case anybody was wondering why I was doing this number, if you've ever painted a metallic paint, sometimes you got to dust them in a little bit. And when I say dust them in, I mean metallics have a tendency to tiger stripe. So what I was doing was just kind of dusting everything in to blend if it was going to stripe or not, to blend that out of there. You don't always get it, but sometimes you do, so it never hurts to just give them a quick dusting. Old school painter trick right there, guys. Maybe it's a new school painter trick. I don't know. I haven't been to paint school in a long time. Well, guys, I would say that my homemade door skins look just fine. Bodywork looks pretty straight. You know, not bad for a local farm boy, huh? Guys, I'm going to go ahead and squirt one more coat of clear on these doors. And like I said, next time we see them, they're going to be on a completed truck. Let me get back to it so we can get this done. Guys, I think me and that truck are going to get along real good. Ain't she sweet? Don't mind that little bit of smoke on it. That exhaust hasn't been warmed up in years and has had a little hydraulic oil dripping on it here and there, so it'll be just fine. But guys, look at how pretty that baby turned out. After buzzing her up down the road a few times, I sure do like having one stick with a flipper instead of two sticks. Not that one's any better than the other, I guess, but I do like the, you know, the Super 10. Let's call it that, even though it's not a Super 10. Man. Boy, guys, that is going to really look sweet on my fleet here. Oh, gotta get that back door figured out too. Oh, not done yet, but at least cosmetically, this truck looks like $1 million. Or at least 1,500, I guess. I don't know. A little bit to do yet, but I think overall, that has turned out just gorgeous. Can't beat that with a stick. And before three of you question me about that bumper, yes, I'll get to the bumper. Just, man, time is limited right now, friends. One thing at a time. So at any rate, everybody, I'm going to let you go for today. I feel really good about how that's looking, and almost looking forward to harvest time. I can't wait to get that thing to the elevator and roll over the scales a few times with it. So guys, I'm going to let you go on that one. Thanks for watching today, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Your problem's not that you're poor, it's just you suck at being poor. If you want nice shit, you're just gonna have to take some old shit and make it nice shit. Being completely useless is a luxury of the rich. And you're not rich, you're poor. If you want to be poor and just have old garbage, then fine, you're good to go. But if you're gonna sit around and cry about how you have nothing nice, but then you're doing nothing to have anything nice, that's your own fault. If you're able-bodied and broke, that's nothing but opportunity. And if you're like, I don't know how to fix stuff. Yeah, no one does, until they do. You ever met a baby who knew how to do flat roofing? You're going to suck at it at first. But you're poor. If you want it to be nice, you're going to have to just keep doing it until it's nice.